too zoomed out to see it. We're
Oh.
at 24 hours. That's 24 hours.
This is an all-day podcast stream. Oops.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There we go.
Slay Digiboots.
And just like, did you...
Bootmon.
Bootmon.
Bootmon is actually a good name.
Bootmon, Slaymon.
Slaymon. Slaymon could be like a Santa, though, too.
Toei animation? Toei? Is it Toei animation?
Well, we want to talk to Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco, hit us up.
There's Slayer Dramon.
Like, is it just the metal band Slayer?
It's a dragon with a sword.
Oh, Slay Airdramon?
No, Slayer Dramon.
Oh, okay.
Like Slayer.
Okay.
We're back.
We are back.
And we're here to talk about Digimon Adventure 02, episodes 25 through 27.
We are. What are our names?
I'm, Adam.
And I'm, Lydia Tar. Just kidding. I'm Michael.
What in Tarnation?
What in Tarnation? I watched that movie last night, so all the memes, I understand all the memes now.
I don't understand anything.
That's okay.
Except for Digimon.
I think your brain's possessed by a rock.
I love Digimon so much.
I know you do.
Digimon Adventure celebrated its 30th anniversary this week.
30? 25th, I think.
No, I think it's 30.
It's been around since 1993? 25th would be 98.
Maybe Digimon celebrated its 30th anniversary.
Slay. Slaying either way.
Slaying is my occupation. We're doing great. We're very focused.
I mean, I think we're having a nice campy little intro here. We're having a fun time. While you look that up, yeah, it's been a minute, but we're excited to be back. We both had coughs, so we had to take a little break to wait until I still have a cough, but it's behaving right now. So hopefully, I won't be hacking up a lung in your ear / for Adam in the editing booth.
Digimon Adventures premiered 24 years ago as of yesterday, March 7th. Also, our editing booth is just our bedroom.
Shh, don't ruin the mystique.
I think we are a very high quality production. We definitely have editing. It's actually, we have an editor. That's not even me anymore.
Wait, we do? Oh,
No.
wait, no, you're going for the mystique. Okay.
Yeah, the Mystique. Mystique was a mistake.
Mystique Summers Madison.
Yep.
What I would have worn for the red carpet.
So, episode 25. We've left off, and
we're in a bit of a transition period.
Yeah, we're in between the arcs. Do you like this better than the in between Devimon and Myotismon arc?
Yes, because I don't really remember what happened then.
Edamon.
Oh, I liked parts of Edamon's arc. I thought parts of it were meh.
Yeah,
I think Edamon's arc is where they have the weird grid that they have to find a way through. It's like a wall inside
No.
And Izzy figures it out, right?
Yeah, this is much more serious, I think. Oh, there's a lot of dire stuff happening in the Edamon arc. That's where we get Skull Greymon.
Yeah,
where they're all finding their crests.
I also feel this in between arc is kind of like the previous arc tailing off, and the next arc ramping up, and those overlapping.
Mm-hmm.
Where Edamon was just a totally separate patch of episodes to fill a gap, which I think this serves to better story writing because it means that these events of the first half of the season are going to directly correlate or are connected to the events of the second half.
You hear that? Look. Digimon Adventure 02, better story writing.
I think so.
Honestly, in my homosexual opinion, better story writing than Ghost Game.
Homosexual? We gotta have a talk.
Our show is called Two Gays and a Digimon Podcast.
It is? No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, I'm a goofy goober.
Anyway. So our episode 25, in our last episode, we just saw that Armadillomon digivolved to Ankylomon, and Ken and Wormmon showed up to help defeat Thundermon, and
And, like...
People were upset about that.
Yeah, because he, like, defeated him.
He, like, killed him.
Shattered into a million pieces. But he's not a real Digimon,
Well, we don't know that yet. So,
okay. Oopsie.
So episode 25, in the English, is called Spirit Needle. Mm-hmm. And in the Japanese, is called Sky Knight, Aquilamon.
That was a giveaway.
Mm-hmm. Which I think this could have been, like, Aquilamon the Sky Knight or something.
That could have been cool. We immediately get cute little outfits for Davis and Kari.
Well, we start off with some NPC commentary about how dumb Davis is and how hot Kari is or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, Kari is fine.
She's also, like, 12. I mean, they're all 12.
But yeah, but, like, she's... I don't know. She's annoying.
She does have that Karen haircut.
She does. She has a Karen haircut where Ken has, like, a fierce bob.
Yeah. Ken's is edgy. It's modern.
Yeah, it's,
Claire, it's French.
Yeah.
If any of you know Fleabag.
So this first part of the episode, Davis is trying to convince the other Digidestined that maybe they should team up with Ken.
Yeah. He starts with Kari they have lunch duty and they're in cute little chef outfits. Mm-hmm. And then he's talking to Cody.
Just won't hear him out at all.
Yeah, Cody being... Okay, honestly, these 3 episodes, Cody was, like, a bit of a dick.
Yeah, Cody's being kind of a dick.
Like he said something with misogynist in a later episode, and I was like, not on International Women's Day. Today's March 8th.
Yeah.
Women rights.
So... But it's also sometimes women's wrongs.
And you know what? We support their rights to be wrong.
Yeah.
And they're less.
So, yeah, nobody's buying it.
Yeah, TK kind of has a moment where he's like, maybe Davis isn't totally wrong, but if everyone else isn't on board, then...
Yoli brings up that she doesn't like that Ken, and she somehow knows that Wormmon's champion form is Stingmon.
Uh-huh.
She didn't like that they just killed Thunderballmon without a second thought.
Yeah, me too.
So... And then we see that Ken isn't doing as well in school as he used to.
We get more NPC commentary.
Yeah, his brain is all occupied with thoughts of the digital world.
Or, according to one student, is possessed by an alien.
Yeah. Okay. So, Ken isn't doing as well in school, and he, like, is met up with by Davis. Mm-hmm. And Davis is, like, trying to convince Ken to join the Digidestined and become part of their group, because they're friends now.
Ken says something really funny, where he's like, why'd you come here to remind me that I'm a bad boy? And I'm like, why did you say it like that? Like, the bad boy is not my editorialization. It's basically how Ken says it.
Well, because Ken and Davis are a ship.
They are,
yeah,
but like...
I mean, I like Ken and Davis as a couple better than Ken and anybody else, so...
Yeah.
I mean, if I had to, like, ship, which, like, I mean, I will, and I do, and I have been for the past 24 years.
Yeah.
So then, Davis calls Yoli up again later, and she talks to him on the phone, and she's still not ready to forgive Ken, and she has a discussion with her older siblings.
Yeah. And her Poramon.
So we get to hear from Yoli's older siblings, and they're also kind of funny, just like Yoli's parents.
Yeah. They're all kind of sassing Yoli. They're like, oh, so who's your boyfriend?
They have a big family. They have 4 kids.
Just like the network.
That's good.
Was Digimon on 4 Kids?
I think it was on what became 4 Kids.
Oh, yeah.
It was on the Fox box.
It's like...
At least when I watched it.
Was that back in black and white?
Yeah. And they're, Yoli's siblings, they're kind of on the ball. They, like, kind of give her some solid advice. And then they're like, well, after all, he is your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because we're feeding back into Yoli having a crush on Ken.
Yeah. Which, like, maybe she still does a little bit.
Yeah, but I was like, maybe she should just have that crush on Ken and forgive him.
And then Poramon drops a truth bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just as was Poramon a boy?
Poramon's boy.
Poramon's like, bitch, just talk to Ken. If you're not sure how to feel about Ken, let's talk to Ken and figure it out.
Yeah. So we cut to Ken and Stingmon, and they're fighting inside the digital world, and Ken knows that something is up with the control spires, but he doesn't really know what. So him and Wormmon are just destroying the control spires, which honestly, I'm surprised that our Digidestined haven't come up with that idea yet. That feels like it would be the first thing I would do in, like, a reconstruction of the digital world, is take down all of these monuments of evil.
Yeah, they're, like, made of pure evil. And then someone important shows up.
It's Mimi, bitch.
So Mimi and Palmon are on a little picnic with Yuki Bodemon, or Snow Bodemon.
A bunch of them.
And they're very cute.
They're very cute.
They're actually the baby form of Gatomon.
Aww.
And they're having a little fun time. Palmon goes off to get some more marshmallows in the woods. So I wonder if they were
the marshmallow forest.
I wonder if they were doing something different in the sub.
Yeah, I wonder what it would have been. Berries, maybe, or like...
Oh, maybe berries.
Or maybe mushrooms, and they were like, well, mushrooms are kind of a drug, so let's not do mushrooms.
Oh, that's true. That might be it, honestly.
It's like a similar... Like, marshmallow and mushroom is like similar letters and stuff.
Yeah. So, then Palmon spots the third boule. She's a killer. And she is up to no good, and Palmon sees her turn the control spire into a Digimon.
Not the third boule.
Palmon...
You saved that one to spring on me now.
Well, if you listen to our podcast, you would already know that I edited in the Dragula theme song whenever she makes her appearance.
That's right, you did.
So, Palmon sees the third boule create a Digimon out of a control spire, and then has to run and tell Mimi. And Mimi sees that Digimon is going to attack the dam, and Palmon is trying to stop him, and the Digimon is Golemon, who's a big rock guy.
Yeah, he's kind of scary.
Yeah, is that your thoughts on Golemon?
Yeah, his design was, I would say, a little straightforward.
I like him. I think he's very cool looking. I like him as a Digivolution of Gatsumon.
Yeah, I like that too.
And I think he'd be like fun to see as like a partner Digimon.
Yeah, I think that too.
So Palmon needs to Digivolve to Togemon, but then she gets knocked out by Golemon.
Yeah, she's like, I need to sleep. I gotta sit this one out.
Yeah, Golemon's gonna destroy the dam and flood a nearby town of Digimon.
Mm-hmm.
And Mimi ain't having it.
No.
She summons the O2 Digidestined with her cry for help.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the second time we've seen this happen. The first time is in the first episode where Agumon cries out to Tai for help, and Tai gets a distress call from Agumon.
One thing I liked about this is, like, when the crew shows up, they're already armored Digivolved. They were like, let's go. Let's do it.
They're ready.
Yeah. They're ready to rumble.
So, Golemon is too strong for the armored Digimon.
He don't give a flip.
And he breaks the dam. And then we see the armored Digimon take care of the water. It's very cool. We have started seeing Nefertimon and Pegasusmon use this attack that I remember you having a reaction to its name.
Golden Noose?
Yeah, it's called Golden Noose. And they, like, their, like, leg armor lights up and it creates this, like
ultra powerful rope
of light.
Yeah, and it's like two of them. It, like, follows their flight pattern.
Yeah, and they, like, use it to, like, in case a bad Digimon or something.
Yeah.
I do think it'd be called Golden Noose is a little bit wild.
Yeah, I think they're going for like a Golden Goose rhyme.
No, I don't think so. I wonder what it's called in Japanese. Doing some research on the podcast? Doing some research on the podcast? Doing some research on the podcast? Oh, in Japanese it's called Sanctuary Bind, which I think is more of a mouthful. So,
yeah.
I guess Golden Noose is a little bit less to say.
Yeah.
Her attack is still called Rosetta Stone in Japanese. That's funny. Nefertimon.
And then she uses her Rosetta Stone to plug the hole.
Yeah, she blocks the hole in the dam with Rosetta Stone.
Pretty genius. Like, I was like, I didn't think of that. That was damn good. She's damn good. Oh my god,
it's about damn time.
She's the MVP of this episode, I think. Because then she turns around and also contributes to, like, stopping the water.
Yeah, her and Pegasusmon. Well, Shorimon cuts down a bunch of trees to create, like, a mini dam.
Yeah.
And then Pegasusmon and Nefertimon bind them together with their golden noose. And then Digmon's like, rock cracking! And, like, digs a big hole so the water drains into it.
It's really great teamwork. Like, I feel like it's one of the first times we've seen all four of them, like, execute, like, a singular plan together, as opposed to, like, we're all gonna attack. It was like, no, we're all contributing different parts to this plan.
Mm-hmm.
Work.
I think that the O2 Digidestined are a little bit better at teamwork than the original Digidestined.
Yeah, because I also feel like they didn't directly have beef with each other, but the 0-1 Digimon were so tied to their partners.
Well, the 01 would imply that their adventure took place in 2001. So that's why it's called 02.
Oh, okay. So, but like when Matt and Tai had their thing, it meant that Agumon and Gabumon had a thing because they were like so linked.
I think also because there's less Digidestined.
Yeah.
Like there's only 5.
Yeah, but like they all get along like gangbusters.
Well, except for none of them except for Davis like Ken. So
no, but I mean like Hawkmon and Armadillomon and Vmon. None of them have like any weird. Well,
that's they're all hanging out in that computer lab all
true.
day.
Yeah, they're bonding.
And then Patamon and Gatomon are very they're buddies.
Yeah, they really are. The buddies,
the friends. So Davis kind of says that they're gonna have to destroy Goldemon, and Yoli and Cody are very against that. And I'm not really quite sure what's going on with the Digimon reincarnation right now, because remember, like, it's established in the lore of the first adventure that Digimon never really die; they get reincarnated.
Yeah,
and we saw that happen with Wormmon.
Yeah,
so. My thinking would be like, oh, well, Golemon would just get reincarnated, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll be reborn as a good Digimon.
Yeah.
And we saw actually evil Digimon before. Like, TK and Kari have seen evil Digimon before.
Yeah. Because after they stop him, because the first hole he punches is like halfway up the dam, and then he's like, I'm gonna go to the top and still wreck it. Mm-hmm. And Davis claims there's millions of lives at stake, where I'm like, millions?
Like, it looks like a pretty big city, actually.
That's true, yeah. That's fair.
It's Digi-York.
Digi-York.
Digi-Monopoly. New York Digi. That's... I'm not saying that there's an episode where they go to New York City to visit Mimi, but if there was... New York Digi. Or a New York Digi-Minute.
Los Digis.
Los Digius.
San Diego.
Los Angelesmon.
Jacksonville, Florida.
Celebration, Florida.
Culver City, Nevada. Or California, I don't even know. It's Carson City, Nevada. Oh my god.
Omaha.
No, you gotta say it in the Peyton Manning voice. Omaha! France! Anyway, now that we're thoroughly confused.
We're very silly today. So, Mimi is the voice of reason, and we continue to stand.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, while Davis is making this argument, Davis's argument is like killing one bad doer to save the lives of a bunch is like ultimately good. Which I'm like, okay, Davis, pop up with the utilitarianism.
Go off, King.
Jeremy Bentham is so proud right now.
Yeah.
And that's on Intro to Philosophy.
But Yoli and Cody are pretty stubborn about not wanting to kill any Digimon. Which I guess I understand. I mean, I wouldn't want to go and kill, like, sentient creatures, but Golemon is being kind of a dick.
He's being such a dick. He wants to kill people.
And he hurt Palmon.
Yeah.
So
it's on site.
It's on site.
It's on site. So they decided to do...
Well, Mimi says that... Well, Davis wants to contact Ken for help. And Cody and Yoli are also against that because they're just being stubborn. Obviously they need help. So
yeah.
But Mimi tells them not to argue with her, and she emails Ken.
Yeah, Mimi's like, listen, I'm the HBIC.
Mimi is always and forever a girl boss.
And always forever Melissa Edwards.
Always and forever Mimi Tachikawa.
Always and forever 21. Just kidding. We're not sponsored by Forever 21. I'm not even sure if Forever 21 is still a thing.
I don't know. I'm 31, so I can't shop there anymore.
if you walk in there, they actually shoot you on sight.
Yeah. So all the Digimon have reverted back to their base forms, and things are not looking good for our friends. But Ken comes in to save the day with Stingmon.
Because Stingmon's kind of a baller.
And then Palmon wakes up and she spills the tea on Golemon about what she saw. So now that they know that Golemon's like not a real Digimon, he's just like he's a creation. He's a golem.
Oh yeah.
They're like, okay, we can fight him now for real. And Yoli, she forgives Ken, and she says that she knows that she was wrong about Ken. But we'll see if she goes back on this in later episodes. And her forgiveness causes Hawkmon to digivolve to Aquilamon. What are your thoughts on Aquilamon?
He's alright. I think he's basically Bergermon with a different color palette.
No, I don't think so. Bergermon's like a bird dragon.
Yeah, and he's like a giant bald eagle.
Yeah,
with horns.
I like Aquilamon. I think he's very cool.
I like him. I don't like him as much as Ankylamon.
Yeah, I think Yoli. We'll talk later.
Yeah.
So Aquilamon and Stingmon take down Golemon.
Yeah, they do it.
It's
teamwork.
Pretty epic teamwork again.
Yeah. Epic prank, bro.
In the episode, we see Ken apologizes to the team, and Davis is on board for Ken to join, and Mimi and Palmon also kind of back him up, that they're also like, well, you guys need to be friends with Ken. And Ken kind of, everyone's not really ready, and then Ken also feels like he's not ready.
Yeah.
And then he walks away from the team, but he gets an email from Yoli saying that she can't wait for him to decide to be their friend.
Yeah, it was really sweet. I have a question.
Yeah.
So, and maybe this was like more explicitly shown and I just missed it or didn't understand. When Arukenimon...
Who's that?
When the third Boule does she, like, literally, like, do the Dark Spires, like, morph into these Digimon? Yeah. Or is she using their power to generate the Digimon? Like, is the Spire still there?
We've seen them, when Golemon got, like, hit by attacks that were effective, like, parts of the Golemon, like, persona, like, broke off, and we saw, like, the dark matter underneath.
Right.
Which would be, like, the Control Spire.
Okay.
Because then we've also seen that because the Control Spires were used to turn them into a Digimon. They're gone now because now, like, Hawkmon digivolved to Aquilamon.
Okay. So if we were to go back to where that Spire we saw her put the thing into...
it's gone.
It's gone. Okay. Because that was bothering me because I was like... I felt like they weren't completing the job because there was like, okay, so we're just back to she can just do that again.
Yeah.
But now I know that it's like every time they defeat one of these Digimon, it's basically like destroying the Control Spires. Okay, thank you.
This episode ends. I thought that was like a pretty sweet moment. With
I think it's a good... It makes sense for them to all have trepidations about Ken joining them. And it's interesting to see like the development of them warming up to the idea.
I think it's silly that they have so many trepidations because obviously Ken is a changed person. Like he was devastated by Wormmon's death and is now like actively fighting bad Digimon. Now that they know that these Digimon are the Control Spires, and we know that the third Boule is an obvious threat.
Yeah.
So, okay, so the next episode 26, is called United We Stand / Jogress Evolve Now, Hearts Together as One.
Long title.
Yeah. So this episode starts with the gang do be rebuilding the digital world. They're building a bridge.
They're building a bridge between cultures.
Oh my god, wait.
What?
A metaphor. They're building a bridge with cats.
Oh shit, the writers are on some good shit this season.
They were on some good stuff. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Look at us.
Look at we cracked the code, Sasha Bell style.
We
Frisbee Jenkins style.
Frisbee Jenkins Frisbee-mon.
Not Frisbee-mon.
So Yoli wonders if Ken is in danger from the third Boulay.
Which he might be.
Yeah.
He kind of seems to be. Kind of seems like she's fucking with him.
Meanwhile, Ken and Wormmon up pondering they spire.
Did you just say up pondering they spire?
Yeah.
God, you're so funny.
And they're kind of like, they're just talking about the control spires and like that they have, that Ken and Wormmon feel like it's up to them to dismantle them all because Ken was the one who built them and Wormmon didn't stop him. But also it kind of felt like Wormmon couldn't stop him.
Wormmon was trying so desperately to stop him.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he could just digivolve and like attack Ken.
Yeah.
Like what are people expecting here?
So Ken reveals that the third Boulay's name is Arukenimon.
Yeah.
So now that we know her name, what are your thoughts on Arukenimon?
She's got Ken in her name. You know what else she has in her name?
What?
Mon. Which indicates that she may be a Digimon.
Digimon.
Obviously she serves.
Yeah.
She's a style icon.
Was very obsessed with this silver hair, purple lipstick, red dress combo that she has going on.
She's a cold-hearted bitch, and I mean that as a compliment, but also an insult.
She's a cold-hearted snake. Look into her eyes.
She's also, like, weirdly very human for a Digimon. Like, way more than even, like, Myotismon was.
Yeah.
She's just
slaying.
She is slaying.
She's also, like, our first...
I want to learn more.
She's our first major female villain.
She also seems, like, very capable in a way that, like, the others are like, haha, I'm evil, so I'm going to do evil things. And she's like, I have a plan.
Yes, I think she seems like the most evil, like... where I'm, like, genuinely afraid of her since Myotismon.
Yeah.
Like,
I
guess
agree with that.
Devimon was scary. Edamon I don't find scary at all. And
no,
then
Edamon's too goofy.
The Dark Masters and Apoclymon just felt very rushed. And then, like, the whole time watching it, I mean, like, this is your first time watching this, you kind of knew that Ken wasn't going to be evil forever, right?
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
He's a human.
So, yeah, I like Arukenimon. She's one of my favorite bad guys in the whole franchise.
Yeah,
so.
Bad gals.
Bad gal. So Ken doesn't know / remember how the control spires work now that he's good.
Right.
That we discover that. So Arukenimon do be lurking on the other Digidestined, and she's serving. Like, she has great dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, I'm
she's
sorry.
Definitely a more evil. She's like a more evil version of Jessie from Team Rocket.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I did have an important note that I forgot to say earlier. Mm-hmm. Ken basically tells Wormmon to go to therapy.
Yeah, and then
Wormmon's like, I feel guilty for this, and Ken's like, there are people you can talk to for that. And
then Wormmon was like, well, why didn't you talk to them before you built the control spires?
Yeah, honestly, it's a call-out post. Are we Gucci? We're Gucci.
So, honestly, pro therapy. Maybe Ken grows up to be a therapist.
Ken grows up to found hims and hers. Just kidding.
Do you think any of them might grow up to become a therapist?
Sora.
Okay.
Not Yoli. Yoli is way too blunt. Yoli would be like...
She's too chaotic.
Yoli would listen to someone's like trauma and be like, that's fucking stupid. Get over it.
Yoli goes into therapy. Like, she's one of those people who goes into psychology to figure out what's wrong with her. What's wrong with her is that she's the youngest of 4 siblings.
Cody's also a good listener, but he's kind of a dick these couple episodes, so I don't know. So Arukenimon conjures up a new Digimon.
Minotauromon.
Who I wrote with the biting lip emoji. Minotaurmon kind of thick.
Kind of thick, though.
Because there's like a shot of him like landing, and they gave him like really defined buttocks.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying I would, but they are nice. They're nice. This nice pair of cheeks. Real recognize real, you know.
So I understand. No, my next point was, what are your thoughts on Minotauromon? But I think I understand. So they defeat Minotauromon, and he put huge holes in their bridge.
He did, and then Davis says, "This is so
Davis
weird."
Said, this is like a really weird exchange.
Do you want to be Davis and I'll be TK?
In my like 17 times watching this season. And specifically, I've never seen the sub of any Digimon season except for Savers and Ghost Game and the reboot.
Mm-hmm.
But I, like... So Davis says...
You play Davis, I'll play TK.
Davis says, aw, I feel so violated.
That's okay. We still respect you.
No, he doesn't say that's okay. He just says, we still respect you.
Which, like, what does that mean?
I was like, what is this? Like, it definitely feels like an assault joke.
Yeah, like it's in regard to the whole, like, him breaking a hole. They say it looks like he took a bite out of the bridge, which it does. Mm-hmm. So, like, Davis even saying, like, I feel so violated feels like a weird, like, biting sexual
it
thing.
Feels very weird.
And then TK being like, even if you're assaulted, we still respect you, slut. Like, is like it's so weird. It's so, and then Kari says something like, back to normal.
Maybe TK goes to become a therapist.
Maybe TK needs a therapist.
Maybe. Honestly, maybe.
He's gone through a lot of shit.
TK and Kari have gone through some stuff.
TK's parents also divorced when he was like 6, which I feel like is like a
they
very...
were divorced before he was 6. He was like 7 or 8 in the first adventure.
Yeah, so that's got to be a prerequisite for therapy. Is like, oh, if you like, not a prerequisite, but like, if that happened to you, you probably need to talk to somebody.
So we see that they defeat Minotaurumon with a combination of Armor Digimon and Aquilamon.
Yeah.
So I want to know your thoughts on the traditional evolutions versus Armor Digivolution.
I think I don't really favor one or the other. It's kind of just like a branching path to me because they're the same level.
They're not.
They're not?
Armor is a strange thing where, like, it's sometimes classified as its own level, which would put it in between, like, Rookie and Champion.
Okay.
Which is why, like, we're seeing that the Champion Digimon are stronger than the Armor Digimon.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But, sometimes in later seasons, Armor Digimon are used as, like, champion forms.
Got you.
Then there's the whole thing with Gatomon where, like, she is a champion Digimon, but because she's depowered in this season, because she lost her tail ring, she is, like, turning into other Digimon.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because I like that it opened up the possibilities for, like, a wider array of Digimon. Because, like, we got Digimon and Ankylamon.
And Samarimon.
Yeah. So, like, we now have, like, a variety, which I like. And also that can be, like, reapplied, right? Like, maybe Palmon could get an Armor Digivolution or whatever. Like, I'm not saying she...
actually a CD drama that is, like, takes place after the season's over.
Uh-huh.
Where, like, some crazy stuff is happening, and, like...
Hijinks ensue!
Hijinks are ensuing, and, like, the, O2 Digidestin, like, decide what if they swap their Digi-Eggs around. So, we get to see, like, Gatomon Armor Digivolve with the Digi-Egg of Knowledge into Butterflymon.
Oh. Yeah, so I like that it exists.
And we get to the original Digidestin's Digimon partners, they all Armor Digivolve. So Palmon becomes Cheer Galmon.
That's cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that it exists. I don't think they're, like, necessarily stronger or weaker, like design-wise. I don't really have a preference. I do think that the armor name is, like, a little bit limiting. Because it's, like, they should be covered in, like, armor
Especially
stuff.
a lot of them are not covered in armor.
Yeah, like, so, like, it's kind of weird. But I think they've, like, I like the designs of the ones they've done. So, like...
Yeah, all the ones that we see in the show are really, like, cool.
Yeah, it feels a little gimmicky, and I get that it's, like, well, it's season 2, so we gotta do something new.
It is
to,
a
like,
gimmick.
Like, to, like, keep people on their toes, and, like, create plot, and, like, sell more products, and, like, whatever. Like, I get it. But, like, as far as those go, like, this is a decent one. It doesn't, like, negatively affect.
Yeah.
It's also not, like, world breaking. It's not like, oh, now they have a super awesome, strong Digimon that they should have just been using all of the first 4 seasons, and now all of a sudden it's just, like, everything else is null and void. Because I feel like sometimes, like, there's no power creep involved, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are my thoughts.
So, some stuff be happening at Ken's base.
Yeah.
There's a big fluctuation of power, and it looks like the base might explode. And Davis is the one that says Ken's crest of kindness must have been keeping the base's power in check.
Davis is really, like, on his game these episodes.
Yeah, this is when I start to... this is why I really like Davis, like this part of the series.
This is also the time I have in my notes where I just put Arukenimon be like, let me bully some children today. Because she always also calls them, like, insolent. Like, and like...
meddling kids.
Yeah, and like, you a weird eyeball. She doesn't say that, nice. But like, that's kind of the energy.
So,
you can tell I was a really good bully in elementary school by how quickly I can come up with zinger insults like that.
Where did you get your hair done? The worm planet?
Who did your hair?
Bugs. So, Arukenimon shows up on Ken's screen, like his computer at home.
Well, they fix what's going on in the lair.
Not yet. This happens beforehand.
Oh, it does? Oh, it's kind of weird order. Okay.
She was, like, taunting Ken about stuff. Because they go to the base.
Yeah.
Like, Davis, TK, Cody, Yoli, and Kari.
Uh-huh.
And they're, like, gonna try to get in touch with Ken. Because, obviously, if they need his credit, they need him if they need his
That's right. Okay, I forgot he wasn't with them already.
So...
okay. Because he was there in the digital world earlier.
Yeah, and then so... Arukenimon is taunting Ken. He's, like, trying to get information out of her. And she drops that she was manipulating him while he was the emperor.
She weaponized his trauma.
Yeah.
She gaslit him.
And that he wasn't special, that any child would have done what it would do.
Problematic.
Yeah. So that kind of probably throws Ken into a little bit of a tailspin.
Yeah. We also get to see that Wormmon has phenomenal phone etiquette.
Oh, well, I love Wormmon!
They get a phone call from Izzy to be like, we need your help. And Wormmon's like, Ken...
Ichijuji residence, how may I help you?
Yeah.
Ken isn't here right now. May I take a message?
Yeah, and then Izzy's like, is this the operator? And
no, this is the Digimon. And he's, oh, you must be Wormmon.
You sound pretty smart to me.
Oh, why thank you.
Yeah.
What else have you heard about me?
Yeah.
I love Wormmon.
But Wormmon just like me for real. Like, just like when I'm at work and I like have to launch one meeting on Zoom and we're running late from the other one and I'm like, we gotta go. Wormmon's like, Izzy, phone, answer, now! Stop talking to Arukenimon, that's not important! She's wasting your time! And I'm like, wow, he just like me for real.
So Arukenimon appears at the base, and she uses multiple control spires to create a stronger Digimon.
It's pretty based.
Yeah, it's pretty based.
It's pretty turkey based.
So she creates Okuamon,
who was like a bug guy.
He's a big bug Digimon. He's the evolved form of Kowagamon, which is the first Digimon that the original Digidestin fought.
Ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm. So Okuamon is dummy strong. He is tossing around the armor Digimon like nobody's business, and then also the champion Digimon.
This is also when Cody says the really messed up thing.
What does he say?
Arukenimon shows up, and when they're waiting for Ken, and Cody just goes, oh, maybe he sent his secretary? And I'm like, wow, assuming a woman is a secretary on International Women's Day? Not a good look, Cody. It is weird that he assumed she's a secretary.
Yeah, it is
she's
weird.
So hot.
And
she's like, no secretary.
Well, that's why she's a secretary.
Because she's serving? You're right,
yeah,
you're right. Secretaries are one of the hottest.
Well, because the wife would be worried about the secretary.
You're so
but anyway,
the wife is Wormmon.
Also, Arukenimon is a boss babe.
The wife is Wormmon, and Wormmon is worried about Arukenimon. Yeah. So
Arukenimon's a boss babe, though. She's not nobody's secretary.
Yeah, no, she's not taking notes. So she's not taking voicemails.
But Okuamon is tossing the partner Digimon around, but Stingmon appears to save the day.
He's a baddie.
Yeah. Ken and Stingmon want to save the day solo, but Davis and XVmon say that that's dumb.
And to the point where Davis slaps Ken in the face to show him how much he cares about him.
Davis is a good boy. I really like Davis.
These episodes are good for Davis. We'll see
These
if he keeps
are good Davis episodes.
Because remember the last episode, it was Davis being stupid the whole time. Gaslighting Vmon into thinking there's trouble. Being selfish and a dick.
Well, actually, the last episode before this arc was when Davis was being a super fun babysitter for the Punimon.
Right, but like, we talked about that episode in the last episode of the podcast.
So this episode ends with a DNA Digivolution where XVmon Stingmon DNA Digivolve 2.
They fuse together.
Pildramon
He got guns.
He's got guns
Like,
on his hips.
Yeah, he the reveal of like when he like takes his full form happens and he's immediately like spinning, like shooting hip fire. Hip fire! He's hip firing. Do you know what hip firing is?
No.
It's like when you shoot, but instead of scoped up, you're just like down here. Like, and they do in like gangster movies, because never anywhere else because it's not practical.
Yeah. His hips, don't lie.
They don't. They light up bad guys with bullets. Can I get a high five in the chat?
So
Some ASMR for y'all.
DNA Digivolution is introduced.
Yeah.
In the sub, it's called Jawgress.
It's called what?
Jawgress.
I don't know what that means.
Joint progress.
That's terrible. That's horrendous.
I don't think it's any better than DNA Digivolution or any worse.
Oh, I think it's absolutely worse.
Well,
Well, it's
they're
not intuitive.
Well, I guess it's not. I guess they're combining their DNA because Pyeodramon kind of looks like a fusion of like Stingmon's armor
Yeah.
and like XVmon's like body.
I think it should just be called like a Digifusion.
Well, they do Digifuse in a different season.
Of course.
It's not as good though.
Yeah.
So
And then it leaves us on a cliffhanger. It's like to be continued right there.
Episode 27 is called Fusion Confusion or The Unparalleled Union Pyeodramon.
That's a cooler name.
I think they should have just said that title because we already saw Pyeodramon in the last episode, so it's not really a spoiler.
They should have called it Union Digivolve or something like that. Or like Unite Digivolve Unite. There's so many other things.
Unionize!
Digivolution! Jawgress is the worst thing I've ever heard though. Jawgress sounds like you know when like white people combine two things that don't need to be combined and then combine the word
Labradoodle.
jorts.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. It's just I don't like it.
Yeah, except it wasn't made by white people.
It also sounds like something that they were charged $28 for in Soho for no reason.
Probably. So, Pyeodramon is kicking Okuamon's butt.
Yeah, the power of friendship.
Yeah.
Straight back into the battle.
Yeah, like, Ken is, like, unsure how he feels about the fusion of Stingmon and XVmon, and then Davis is like, yeah, get him, Pyeodramon!
This is all... Davis has, like, the ultimate, like, 12-year-old response, which is like, this is sick!
To be fair, if my, like, animal monster best friend combined with someone else's animal monster best friend... Yeah, like, if
Sheila fused with Dusty, we'd be confused.
No, I would be like... And then they had to fight a big bug Digimon that was trying to kill me and my friends. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, yeah, get him! So, everybody is kind of... Oh, Ken and Davis... So everyone is kind of in awe of Pyeodramon.
Yeah, Davis makes, like, a weird face, too. He like...
Sometimes Davis's faces are, like, a little off-model in this.
Yeah, his eyes, like, cross weirdly or something.
I think they're kind of illustrated. To me... I don't believe they're doing this on purpose, but to me, they're kind of illustrating that Davis is a little dumb. He
do be.
He's dumb, but he's sweet. Yeah.
He's sweet sometimes.
He's so sweet to Ken in these episodes.
Woo! Yes, but he can also be sour sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, sorry for the woo. I dropped my phone.
So my next note is that Hawkmon definitely watched Tar.
Why?
I don't know.
What? Is he composing?
Well, you know that like a Hawkmon
does he have a sketchy past?
Hawkmon's just a fancy guy. So he's watching an Oscar-nominated film.
That's true. Can we talk about how he can remove part of his head and throw it like a boomerang?
Well, it's a feather. Just a feather in his little band.
Yeah, but I didn't know he could do that.
We've seen them do it before. Yeah, and it had a better name then. Yeah, so they break into the base, and Ken and Davis are like really far ahead of everybody else, and then TK is like, well, don't forget about us, you guys. And they get into the base, and then TK is like, they're never going to make it through all this rubble. And then Ken and Davis just make it through the rubble. And then Billy's like, well, I guess they just didn't hear you, TK.
The base also, like, weirdly has design elements that make it look like something out of, like, Alien.
Yeah.
It's, like, very strange, but it's cool.
Well, yep, they go in, and they put the crest away.
Yep.
And that still doesn't seem to be stopping anything.
Yeah.
And
it makes it worse.
Ken says, the pipes. To which I said, oh, Kenny boy, the pipes are calling.
The song of my people.
So.
Plumbers.
Yeah.
Also Irish.
Woohoo! It's me, a water bomb!
Can you imagine if Mario and Luigi were, like, Irish caricatures instead of Italian caricatures. Like, imagine them being like, I can say this because I'm Irish, so imagine them being like leprechauns or like drunks. It would make sense with the gold coins.
I mean, are they not also drunks in...
No, they're cooking a pizza.
They're cooking a pizza.
It's just like Frankie Grande, Malaysia baby doll, fox.
They're cooking a pizza. We're making really good references.
We really are.
So, there is a disturbing feeling of darkness inside the base that TK, Kari, and Ken are all familiar with. Like, TK from when him and Patamon saw Devimon in that whirlpool, and Kari from when she got sucked into the dark ocean, and Ken says that this feeling of darkness has surrounded him since he first came to the digital world.
Damn.
So, the door to darkness!
Hi, fella. Hey, Justin. Did somebody mention the door to darkness? It's Jedi. It's Jedi showing up finally. That be helpful again.
It's King Agumon, and he's got a Keyblade.
Agumon does kind of sound like Mickey Mouse a little bit.
I wonder if that's intentional.
Maybe.
Because he's like the mascot.
Yeah, maybe.
So, the door to darkness that is like melting and like the dark energy is like seeping out of it. Mm-hmm. It has a dragon head looking part of it.
It does.
And I'm wondering if this is all a reference to Millenniummon, who is the villain in that Wonder Swan game that features Ken that we saw the flashback to. So that could be just more of a cheeky reference to Millenniummon.
Maybe it is.
So they save the day.
They do.
Pyeongramon comes in and saves the kids.
It's kind of metal, the way that they defeat.
Yeah, Pyeongramon defeats Okuamon and then goes and he's like, "All right, time to save some Digidestin."
He doesn't breaks up. They rip off his head or something.
His arm,
his pincer. Yeah,
which is fine because he's a
pincer.
Pincer.
It is pincer. Okay, like the Pokemon
or pincher or whatever.
Yeah. Anyways,
we see that after DNA digivolution, they revert back to their baby form. So we meet Chibomon, and then we also see Leafmon again.
Yeah.
And so Ken gets another invite to join the Digidestin, and Ken needs time to mull it over.
Oh, will they? Won't they? Longer than Pam and Jim?
Yeah, longer than Scott and Jean.
Longer than Janine and Gregory.
Yeah.
Although I liked Mo. He was really funny.
Okay, we need to stay focused on one thing.
You're right. The Abbott Elementary
and
podcast.
That thing is Char.
That thing is Lydia Char.
So,
which, again, you have not seen and probably would have hated.
I probably would have hated. So, later on in this episode, Izzy explains DNA Digivolution by referencing the movie Our War Game, which featured Omnimon fighting on Omnimon, the fusion of War Greymon and Metal Garurumon, fighting Diablomon on the internet, which Yoli watched happen. Which if we had watched the movie, we would have also seen a cameo by young baby Yoli and her siblings.
Baby Yoli.
Yeah.
I saw him at a basketball game.
So, Izzy tells the 02 Digidestin that the original Digidestin gave up their crest powers to protect the digital world. Which I was like, why didn't TK and Kari just tell them this? But TK and Kari said that it's hard for them to admit that they have a weakness. And I was like, sure, but you're willing to exploit Davis's weaknesses all the time.
Whoop!
And then I said, do the 02 kids even know who Jedi is?
I don't know.
Because we still haven't seen... This is our first time seeing Jedi in the second season, and it's in a flashback to the first, in between seasons.
Yeah, and I think they must just, accept, I guess Jedi's the dude. I did like when they were like, why didn't you tell us before? And, Kari was like, oh, it's hard to admit when you have a weakness. And I was like, because the writers didn't think of this plot line until this point in the season, and it was too late to go back.
Because it wasn't relevant until we had our first DNA Digivolution.
Yeah.
So then, Yoli decides that it's time they're gonna go fight Arcanimon now. And
right now.
Take down all the control spheres now. And then Izzy's like, oh, my mom will be home soon. You can't,
And she's cooking the pizza.
And then
I need to stop cooking the pizza.
Izzy's mom comes in and she's got donuts.
And so they stay.
And these actually look like donuts.
They do. Yeah. They don't look like eggs or something, and they just call them donuts.
They're not rice balls or whatever. So Izzy's mom is...
The cutest.
She's a character who I really like, and I don't think I really liked her until we watched Digimon Adventure for this podcast. Like, I always cared about her, and I always thought she was, like, one of the best adults.
Yeah.
But here she's, like, she sees all of Izzy's friends, and she's not stupid. Like,
yeah.
She asks
where Tentomon is.
She wants to know what happened to Izzy's friend Tento.
Yeah.
And then Izzy's like, it's Tentomon, Mom. And then she's like, well, what happened to Tentomon? And that's where we end.
It says to be continued, which is a little weird. Do you know who she reminds me of? Not to keep comparing it to the other show, but she reminds me of Delia.
Ash's mom?
Yeah. Like, same kind of, like, warm energy.
She looks like her, too.
She looks like her, yeah.
Yeah. I think...
Ash's mom is a bit more sassy.
Yeah. Ash's mom...
Ash's mom fucks. Clearly.
Well, I mean, probably Izzy's mom does, too.
Yeah, but, like, Ash's mom has the energy of, like, oh, she fucks.
Well, Ash's mom is single, so...
Yeah, and she's clearly ready to mingle.
What would be great? I mentioned this in our coverage of the first adventure. Izzy's storyline of being adopted was the first time I'd really ever experienced a kid who's adopted.
Okay. Yeah, I think you did mention this.
Later on, we had a neighbor that was adopted. Oh. But then, so I think it'd be interesting to have a Digidestined in this universe who was raised by a single parent.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Because we don't have, we have TK and Matt, but
this is kind of different.
Their parents are divorced.
Yeah, it's not like one of them's dead or abandoned them or something.
Well, we actually do have someone who's being raised by a single parent. Cody.
Oh yeah, his mom and his grandfather.
Yeah,
I forgot about. Well, it's because he's been a dick.
Yeah, well,
I forgot where in the episode it happened, so we kind of went by it. But at some point, this episode, he refers to like one of the Digimon as that thing, and I'm like, God, Cody, stop! What's with you lately?
Yeah, well, he's really
anti-Ken.
Really anti-Ken, which is bringing out a side of him that I don't really care for.
Yeah.
So
that was these episodes.
Yeah, I liked these episodes.
I did too.
I thought they were all really good and really like action packed and like new stuff is happening. We got a great new villain in our Digimon.
Yeah, and I stand by what I said at the beginning, where it feels like a necessary kind of buffer period where it's helping us switch from one arc to the other instead of just like completely pivoting. Mm-hmm. Which is why like these episodes like have some lighthearted, like this episode was like them fighting and like learning more about our Digimon, and then them just kind of chatting in Izzy's bedroom. So
yeah, which I mean, I would feel weird as a parent having my like teenage son have a bunch of kids over without me being there. Like,
I guess.
And it's not like they have a house. They have they live in what is labeled as the Odaiba Mansion, which I'm assuming is an apartment complex.
I think Izzy's old enough that it's like people
come
and go.
But I would be like, well, because she gets home and like she sees all their shoes are there in the front. Like that's a lot of kids.
Yeah,
probably not that big of an apartment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. Just just mom things.
Just mom things.
#boy mom. Stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was our podcast. We are
available on social media.
Available on all social media. And well, not all social media. We're available on Twitter. I gotta get better at managing social media, but hopefully that'll come soon. Yeah. And then we are available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can send us an email at TwoGaysPod@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. That is TwoGaysPod@gmail.com.
Two spelled out, TWO.
TWOGAYSPOD @gmail.com. Yeah. And I think it'd be really fun to start answering some fan questions.
Yeah, let's get some. Send us your questions.
Or fan opinions, or I don't know, maybe we can figure out a way to have like a guest.
They can be about Digimon, they can be about us, they can be about...
No, they can be about Digimon. I don't want anyone to know anything about us.
Okay. That's fair.
They can be about us and our relationship to Digimon.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good guess.
So, on that note,
I've been Lydia Tar.
And I've been Wormmon.
And we'll see you. Well, you'll hear us the next episode.
What else have you heard about me? Bye.
Bye. I love you.
I love you too. Sleigh boots, Ken. Bye.
Stop. You do it.
I'm trying to hit 1 hour.
Oh my god.